Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We're diving into something that we know a lot of you are thinking about as you plan for retirement. You've shared a lot of questions about making sure your money lasts and building a secure financial future in retirement.
Absolutely. And that's where we're focusing this deep dive on annuities, a
Yeah.
retirement investment option that, well, maybe doesn't always get all the attention it deserves.
Yeah, for sure. So today, our mission is to demystify annuities. We're going to break down exactly what they are, and we'll explore the different types and why they're becoming increasingly popular.
And most importantly, by the end of this deep dive, we want to help you figure out, if an annuity might be a good fit for your retirement plan.
Right. The sources you send over are really interesting. A lot of focus on different retirement income strategies and a real hunger for clear, actionable information. So we're going to do our best to deliver that today.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. It seems like everyone's talking about annuities lately. What's fueling this surge in interest?
Well, one key factor is, I think, the economic climate. Right now, we're seeing a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and naturally, people are looking for ways to protect their retirement savings and make sure they'll have enough income to last throughout their retirement.
Yeah, no one wants to outlive their money, especially when you've worked so hard to save it.
Exactly.
And that actually leads perfectly into the first big reason for annuities growing appeal. Guaranteed income for life. I mean, that right there is a huge peace of mind.
It really is. Knowing that you'll have a steady stream of income no matter how long you live can be a game changer, especially when you consider that people are living longer than ever.
Absolutely. And it kind of takes the guesswork out of retirement planning, wouldn't you say?
It certainly does. It gives you a solid foundation to build on.
Okay. The second reason our sources highlight is tax-deferred growth. So, can you explain how that works specifically within the context of an annuity?
Sure. Essentially, with a tax-deferred annuity, your money grows over time, and you don't pay taxes on those earnings until you actually start taking withdrawals in retirement. So it lets your money compound and potentially grow more quickly.
That makes sense.
Then ideally, when you do start taking withdrawals, you might be in a lower tax bracket, which could save you money in the long run.
That's a really smart strategy. Now, the third point that stands out, especially with all the market swings we've seen, is protection from crashes. So, unlike, say, a 401k or an IRA, which can be directly impacted by market downturns, some annuities can offer a level of protection. Can you elaborate on how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. Unlike your typical retirement account, which is tied to the stock market, certain types of annuities are designed to safeguard your principal, meaning your initial investment, from market losses. This can offer a lot of peace of mind, knowing that at least a portion of your retirement savings won't be eroded by market fluctuations.
That's a really comforting thought, especially for those folks who are a little bit more risk averse, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And the fourth reason is customizable payouts. So it's not just a one-size-fits-all approach to how you receive your income in retirement, right?
No, not at all. That's one of the great things about annuities. You can structure them to provide income exactly when you need it. You can choose to start receiving payments immediately upon retiring, or you can defer them to a later date. There are also different options for how long you want to receive payments and how frequently those payments should be made.
So it's really tailored to your individual needs and your retirement timeline.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got a good grasp on why annuities are getting all this attention. Now let's dive into the different types of annuities because there are actually several.
Right.
And the first one we'll look at is fixed annuities. And our sources describe these as a good fit for, well, more conservative investors who are seeking predictable returns.
Yeah, exactly. With a fixed annuity, you basically receive a guaranteed interest rate on your investment for a set period of time. It's a lot like, well, a certificate of deposit or CD, but designed specifically for retirement, with that added bonus of tax-deferred growth.
So if you're looking for steady, reliable growth without the risk of market volatility, a fixed annuity could be a good option to consider. Our sources give a great example to illustrate how this works. They say, let's say you invest $100,000 in a fixed annuity at a 5% annual return. Well, that would yield $5,000 per year, guaranteed.
Exactly. And that predictability can really provide a solid foundation for your retirement income planning.
Now, let's move on to fixed index annuities. These seem to be gaining a lot of popularity, especially among people who, want something a bit more than a traditional fixed annuity, but aren't quite ready to jump into the full-on stock market.
Yeah. Fixed index annuities are really interesting because they try to find that balance between growth potential and protection. They link your returns to the performance of a specific market index, like, for example, the S&P 500.
So you have the opportunity to benefit from market gains, but without the risk of losing your principal if the market takes a dip.
Exactly. And that's a really attractive proposition for a lot of people who want some growth potential, but also want to sleep well at night, knowing their investment is safe.
Our sources provide a great example. They say if the market goes up by 10%, your annuity might gain 6%. But if the market crashes 20%, you don't experience any loss. So it's like kind of the best of both worlds in a way.
It can be, yeah.
All right, moving right along to immediate annuities. I mean, the name kind of says it all, right? It's designed for people who need income right away in retirement.
Absolutely. With an immediate annuity, you make a lump sum investment, and then you start receiving regular monthly payouts almost immediately. And those payments can continue for the rest of your life, giving you that guaranteed income stream.
So you're essentially converting a portion of your savings into a predictable, reliable income that you can't outlive. Our sources give an example here. They say that a $250,000 investment could potentially yield $1,500 per month for life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can provide a lot of financial security, knowing that you'll have that consistent income stream coming in every month.
Now, finally, we have variable annuities, which are often described as offering the highest growth potential, but also carrying the highest risk.
Right. That's because with a variable annuity, your money is invested in what are called sub-accounts. They're kind of like mutual funds, and they invest in different market segments, like stocks and bonds. So the value of your annuity fluctuates with the market.
Okay. So if the market performs well, your annuity could grow significantly. But if the market goes down, there's a risk of losing money. And our sources do point out that this type of annuity might be more suitable for people who have a higher tolerance for risk and a longer time horizon.
Exactly. It's not for everyone.
Okay, so we've covered the four main types of annuities. I think we all agree there's a lot to think about. So for our listener, for you, how do you actually decide if an annuity makes sense for your retirement plan? And if so, what type of annuity is the right one for you?
Well, our sources actually outline a really helpful four-step process to guide you through this decision.
Great, let's break that down. Step one is to define your retirement goals. Sounds simple enough, but what does that actually entail?
It means really taking the time to think about what you want your retirement to look like. What are your financial needs and priorities? Are you primarily concerned with covering your basic living expenses, or are you hoping to have some extra income for travel or hobbies, or even to leave a legacy for your family? Defining those goals will help you determine how much guaranteed income you might need and what level of growth you're looking for.
Okay, so once you've got a clear picture of your retirement vision, the next step is to assess your risk tolerance, right?
Exactly. How comfortable are you with the idea of your investments fluctuating in value? If the thought of market dips keeps you up at night, then a fixed annuity might be the most suitable option for you. It offers that security and predictability. But if you're comfortable with some level of risk and you're aiming for higher potential returns, then a fixed index or even a variable annuity might be worth considering.
So know yourself and your comfort level with risk. Got it. What's next?
Step 3 is to consider your payout options. Do you need income to start right away? If so, an immediate annuity is probably your best bet. But if you're still working and you're more focused on long-term growth, then a deferred annuity might be a better fit.
And then finally, step 4 is to work with an annuity expert. Our sources are very clear on this point. They say annuities can be complex. Don't navigate this alone.
Right. Annuities come with a lot of different features and riders, and it can be challenging to sort through all the details and figure out which annuity is best for you. So it's really crucial to work with a qualified financial professional who can provide personalized guidance and help you choose the right annuity for your unique circumstances.
So someone who can really walk you through all the options and help you make an informed decision.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on another point that came up in our research. Our sources mention that now might be a particularly good time to consider annuities.
Okay.
They point to a few reasons for this. The first being that interest rates are currently at a relatively, competitive level. So how does that impact annuities?
Well, for fixed annuities, the interest rate environment has a direct impact on the guaranteed returns you can lock in. When interest rates are higher, as they have been recently, it could be a good time to secure a more attractive guaranteed rate for the long term, because those rates could potentially go down in the future.
So it's almost like strike while the iron is hot, right?
In a sense, yes. It's about taking advantage of the current interest rate environment.
Okay. Another reason they highlight is that for many retirees, Social Security alone might not be enough to cover all their expenses, and annuities can help to bridge that gap.
Right. Social Security is a great foundation, but it's often not enough to maintain the lifestyle people are accustomed to in retirement. Annuities, especially those with guaranteed lifetime income, can provide that extra layer of income security.
That peace of mind of knowing you have a guaranteed income stream coming in addition to your Social Security benefits can be really valuable, especially if you're worried about rising costs or unexpected expenses.
It can make all the difference.
And then finally, given all the market volatility we've seen, it seems like now more than ever, people are looking for ways to protect their retirement savings. And some types of annuities can offer that level of protection.
Definitely. The idea of having a portion of your retirement savings sheltered from market downturns is very appealing to a lot of people, especially as they get closer to retirement.
So it's really about mitigating that risk and adding a layer of stability to your retirement portfolio.
Well, this has been an incredibly informative deep dive into the world of annuities, and it's clear that they offer some really unique advantages, especially when it comes to providing guaranteed income and a measure of financial security in retirement. So as we wrap up here, what are some key takeaways that you'd like our listeners to really walk away with today?
Well, the most important thing is to understand that annuities can be a very valuable tool in your retirement planning toolkit. They can help address some of the biggest concerns people have about retirement, such as outliving their savings and dealing with market volatility.
And for you, our listener, as you reflect on all the information we've covered today, we encourage you to really think about whether the benefits of guaranteed income, tax advantages, and financial security align with your personal retirement goals and your comfort level with risk. And to that point, I think it's really helpful to ask yourself this question. Considering the different types of annuities we've discussed and your own individual needs and risk tolerance, what kind of guaranteed income stream would give you the most peace of mind as you look towards your retirement?
I love that question. I think that's something everyone needs to really sit with and ponder.
It can be a really powerful exercise. And remember, as we've emphasized throughout this deep dive, if you're interested in learning more about annuities and how they might fit into your overall retirement plan, it's always a good idea to consult with a qualified financial advisor who can provide personalized guidance.
That's great advice. Well, thanks for joining us today on the deep dive. We hope you found this discussion informative and that you feel more confident in your journey towards a secure and fulfilling retirement.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And until next time, happy investing.
And happy retirement planning.
We'll see you soon.
See you later.